It's around 3:30 in the morning, and I could just gotta get some things off my chest. I know it's been a little while since I made a video, last video. I was just expressing myself. I go through things. It's just my emotions again being poured out, you know, letting the world see. Just because you see my smile doesn't mean I'm happy. What's on my mind at night? It's my ex. Or should I say my soulmate now? People call me crazy. They call me crazy for still being in love with this girl, but I feel like when you met your soulmate, there's no such thing as being crazy. And you could be crazy, if you're stalking her or crazy, just doing foolish. You know what the fuck crazy is. When niggas do outlandish things. But nah, it's not that type of crazy. This is it's just I have this feeling inside my heart that one day we will be together again. I really feel like, and I never felt this way about a female before. And I had my fair share of females. I have. Like, it's not my first rodeo. I've been around the block a couple times. Been through different experiences. I've been through many situations, situationships, relationships, one night stands. You said I've been through it. But this is different. I really felt that. I really found that person that I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. And during that time we was together, I fucked up. I fucked up bad, like bad. And she seen me for the real me. She seen the good in my heart. She seen a piece of me that I haven't seen in myself in years. In years. And our connection was so deep. Because we could say 1,000 words without saying one word. We can tell each other we love each other without even saying it. We can argue with each other, but still be so deeply in love with each other. And I understand if she hates me. I really do. I would really understand if she do hate me. I really understand if y'all say, it's time to move on. It's time to venture out and find somebody else. But when your soul is connected with somebody, it's no such thing. Maybe you'll fall in love again with somebody else down the road. Maybe you'll be with somebody else, but when your soul is connected with another person, then you're not complete until you're with that person. Now, I believe soulmates are meant to be together, but not every soulmate ends up being together. Sometimes you have to love your soulmate from a distance. Sometimes you have to love your soulmate even when your soulmate hates you. It's a beautiful thing and it's an ugly thing. It's just our time together was beautiful, and you wouldn't really understand it until you've been in a position where you met that person for you. So you'll know what I'm talking about if you really met that person. If you really met your soulmate, then you'll understand what I'm saying. But if you haven't met your soulmate, then what I'm saying to you right now is outrageous, it's outlandish, it might look at you, and you might look in your eyes and this nigga's bugging, this nigga's tripping. What the fuck is wrong with this nigga? He's doing too much. But like I said, man, if you've been in my shoes and if you met your soulmate and thank the Lord if you still with your soulmate, that's a beautiful thing. Take care of her, take care of him. Make sure that person never leaves your heart. Make sure you treat that person better than anybody else in this world. You know, make sure you cherish those moments, because you never know when those moments and when that time could be over, because it could be over in the snap of a finger, a blink of an eye. It can be done with. You know, and I say here, just thinking about, damn, what was the last thing I said to her? When was our last kiss? When was the last time I hugged her? When the last time I told her I love her? And we ended bad. We ended in an argument. We ended in a disagreement. We ended not seeing eye to eye. We ended with no explanation. And yeah, you know, if you look at it like, you know, she doesn't owe me an explanation, you're right. You're right, she doesn't at all. All she deserves is her peace and her happiness. And that's all I want from her. That's all I want for her, is her peace and her happiness. And if that means that I have to take a step back, that means that I have to leave her life in for order to her to get that, then so be it. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I can't be selfish and just put my feelings first and just pressure her into being with me, because that's not no good. That's no good. You know, you with somebody and they're not happy, or you with somebody and you know you're happy, but they're suffering. You know you need that person, but that person needs to heal, and you can't heal them. You know, you can't solve their problems. And just because, you know, that's your soulmate doesn't mean you have every answer to every problem. You have every answer to every solution, because you don't. Life is a lesson. Life is a lesson. You learn every day. You learn something new every day. And I think the most important thing you have to learn is, it could all be gone in a blink of an eye. It could all be gone so quick. You could be together for years, months. You could be together every second of the day. But that shit can be over just like that. Every memory, every picture y'all took, every video you recorded, every date you've been on, every place you visited, will mean nothing in the end. You know, they say the good outweighs the bad. But more times than not, the bad outweighs the good. Oh, look at me silly. You could do a million things right. You can make her happy. You could be together with her for a year. You can make her happy for 11 months. But if it's that 1 month that you put her through hell, then, and if she decides she wants to move on, then you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. Because it's our job as men to take care of our females. They look at us as their protectors. They look at us as that one person when everything goes bad they can turn to and know everything is alright. They want us to be their peace. And when that's no longer the case, then all you'll bring to the table is disaster, destruction, madness, sorrow, confusion, delusion, all of that. And when that's brought to the table, then you no longer have a table to eat at. You know, we're just sitting there with blank faces, blank hearts. blank minds, lost souls, trying to figure out how can we make this better. But sometimes the only way to make it better is to step away. I was listening to DMX. It's one of my favorite rappers. Just off the strength of, DMX has a lot of songs where, it's about shooting and selling drugs and robbing and fucking this bitch and that bitch. But I think DMX's best songs is when he's speaking from the heart. When he's telling us how the world really is. And he said, if you really love something, let it go. And if it comes back, then it was always meant to be yours. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Then it was never yours from the beginning. And sometimes we're just afraid to let go because of the possibility of that person never coming back. So we hold on to bad situations. We hold on to bad relationships just for the fact of we don't want to let that person go, and we don't want to start over, and we don't want to let anybody else inside. Because number one, somebody already has a heart, and number two, we can't take that pain again. That pain could be unbearable. That pain could be so hurtful that for years it might take years to recover. And like now these days it's hard to forgive and move on. It's hard to forget and move on. So that's why we see a lot of see, I don't like the word toxic. I feel like there's no such thing as toxic. There's a such thing as holding on too long. Because truth be told, once you see that red flag, you have to go. But if you continue to deal with that person, even when you see those red flags, that's not toxic. That's not toxic at all. That's called stupidity. Because you seen it. You seen where it was going wrong, but you was blind. You didn't want to face the fact that this person has their flaws. This person has insecurities, and this person has problems that I can't fix. But I'm a damn sure try. That's not toxic. That's not toxic at all. Because you chose to stay with that person. You chose. They didn't put a gun to your head and made you be with them. They didn't put a bomb in your back and said, if you leave me, I would detonate the bomb. No. You chose to hold on. You chose to stay. You chose to be there. You chose that. And I'm not sitting here blaming nobody. I'm not sitting here pointing fingers, because the heart wants what the heart wants. The heart needs what the heart needs. The soul yearns for that affection and that love. You can't help that. You can't help those feelings. You can't at all. It's human nature. Love is a beautiful thing, and also at the same time, it's an ugly monster. It's just like but just it's all about management. How to manage that person. You have to know what you can and you cannot do, what you can and you cannot say. Because every person has their trigger. Every person has that release. Every person gets to that point where they can't take it and they explode. And if you can't handle that, then whose problem is that? If you try to sit there and help them and knowing you can't help that person, then whose problem is that? That's not that person's problem. Yes, that person could have been like, yeah, let me step out of this equation. But sometimes it's hard to step out of something when you're so deeply involved in it. When you're so deeply connected to it. It's hard to step out of it. It's like you're in quicksand. It's hard to get out of quicksand. But love is not quicksand. You sink in love slow. That's why I never got why they call it quicksand, because you sink slow. There's no way out of it. Why the fuck they don't call it slow sand? It's just a funny moment. I just never got that, you know. You're not sinking fast. It's not, you know, once you step in it, bloop, you're done. No, it's a slow, it's a slow process. You're watching how you're just slowly falling into your own demise. You're watching how you slowly just falling into your own depression. You're watching that. And there's nothing you can do unless you got help. Unless that person comes and saves you. And sometimes that person cannot save you. It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed I can pull you out the slow. I'm ready to say slow sand. It's not guaranteed somebody can pull you out that quicksand. It's not. But at the same time, it's a possibility they can, though. It's definitely a possibility. They can't help you. And sometimes it takes more than one person. You know? Sometimes it takes more than one person to save your heart. You know? You might got one person to do this for you. They can heal your heart that way. Then you have another person that can heal your heart another way. You know? Sometimes it takes more than one. Sometimes one is all you need. But in this thing we call life, you can't do it by yourself. It's impossible. Give a fuck if you're the strongest, toughest, hardest man out here. Give a fuck if you're the most independent woman. Independence. Fuck am I talking about? I don't give a fuck if you're the most independent woman in the world. You cannot do it by yourself. I apologize. I'm quite parched. I can smoke these blacks, man. 1 second, please. 1 second. 1 second. I can't find my fucking lighter, so I have to use these fucking matches like this 1960s. You know, like I'm lighting a fucking cigar, even though it is a cigar. But you know what the fuck I mean. Shit. But I honestly feel like if it's 5, 10, 15 years from now, our souls will connect again. We will meet each other again. We will be together again. I honestly feel that way. And yes, for right now, I will move on. I will move on physically. But my soul is still with her. As I know her soul is still with me. You know, when you go through things, when you experience something, you just don't get over that person, and you just don't get over that person in a couple months. You just don't. You know, it takes time. It really takes time to really be able to move on, get over that person. 1 second, please. She might tell you, he might tell you, well, I moved on. I don't love you no more. I hate you. That's a lie. That's a lie. You know, they're just saying that to make it easier for them to be able to be happy or be able to be at peace. And that's what I really wish for her. I wish for her to be at peace with herself. I wish for her happiness. Because to tell you the truth, yo, like, during that time we was together, Um, Even though she made me so happy, like she made every part of my body, every part of me happy. That was one of the roughest times for me. I was so depressed. Now, if you go through depression, you know how that feels. It's no cure for depression. It's no medicine. It's no getting rid of depression. It's just on how well can you manage it. You know how good can you control the monster. That's all that matters. Can you can you can you cope with the pain? That's depression for you, man. The one thing that really hurt me, the one thing that really hurt my soul was seeing her depressed, knowing I'm the reason behind it, knowing that I caused that depression, knowing that I couldn't help her. Also at the same time I knew for her to get better, she'd have to solve the equation. And it was a subtraction. You know, her minus me equals peace and happiness. And I knew that. And I would tell her that. But her love for me was so deep that she wanted to cling on to something that was no longer there. It was long gone. You know, and don't get me wrong, because I stuck it out with her too, even though I knew I should have left a long time ago. Even knew I should have been a man and just owned up to my mistakes and left her alone. Her sister told me one time, like Tyreek, if you really loved her, you'll leave her be, because every time you're around, she feels sad, she's depressed. And at that time, yo, I got angry at that remark, because it's like, yo, I'm not a monster. I'm not. Like, if you got the opportunity to really know me, you'll understand I'm not no monster. I'm not a bad person. I'm not evil. I just come from circumstances that I couldn't avoid depression. I couldn't. My mother went through it, still going through it. My dad going through it, still going through it. And they made a baby, which was me. And damn, I had a slim chance of coming out normal, you know. I had a slim chance of that. And I always knew from a young age that something was wrong with me. But I never addressed it. I never brought it to attention, because I thought, like, you know what, it'll get better one day, you know. But it didn't. And because I was hurt, because I went through depression, because I was misguided, because I was not taught the right way, I took my pain out on others. I took my distress out on others, which was the wrong thing to do. And to everybody that I hurt, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. But to let y'all know, that wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, man. The real me is nice, kind, I'll do anything. You the shirt on my back. Anything. If I have it, you got it. But during those times, man, that wasn't me, man. It was a demon eating at my soul, yo. They wanted me so bad. And I almost let them win. I almost did. Until I met her. And she changed my life for the better. She really did. But, yeah, man, it's my third segment, man. I hope y'all enjoy. If you don't, so be it. If you do, stay tuned for the next video. And subscribe to my channel, man. You know, subscribe to it, because, you know, I love to get insight on all topics, you know. So I can't give you a specific topic on what I might speak upon next. It's just on how I'm feeling that day. You know, it's just my emotions or what I went through or what I was thinking or what I dreamed about, you know. So it could change. It could change. But if you have any suggestions, if you want me to bring up a topic, what you want me to talk about, that's fine. But subscribe to my page. Tune in. I'll be back, man. Watch the video. I know it's long, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Listen, because I know I'm not the only person going through things like this. I know I'm not the only person that people tell them, like, you know what, you're crazy, you need to move on. She's done with you, he's done with you. I know I'm not. But if your heart and your soul yearns for that person, needs that person, wants that person, then it might take time, but don't give up hope. Never give up hope. I'm not saying go act crazy, go stalk the person and fucking do outlandish things. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying be patient. Be patient. And like I said, man, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's meant to be yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. That's it. You know, but it's time, man. It's time. TY, subscribe to my page, man. It's right there. Just hit the subscribe button. It's not gonna kill you. You know, I know y'all need to hear things like this. So subscribe to that, to my channel. Stay tuned in. You know, and I got y'all, man. I wanna speak about things because, you know, sometimes it's hard for other people to speak about feelings because people judge. People judge, man, and nobody wants to be judged. People judge when they even say they don't judge. When a person says that, they judge. They judge. So yeah, this is for everybody that, you know, doesn't have a voice. I'm gonna be your voice. I want to be your voice until you feel comfortable enough to open up to that person, open up to the world. I'm going to put myself on the front line and express my feelings and tell y'all what I go through. Because I know I'm not the only one that goes through this struggle. I know I'm not the only one in pain. I know I'm not the only one whose heart is hurting right now. So, subscribe. Like, once again, subscribe. I'll be back. Subscribe, though. Y'all take it easy. Good morning. Good night. Have a great day. Ty 3000 is out. Adios.